There is a paradox hidden in plain sight, a truth so simple that most people overlook it every single day. The very thing we resist the most is the very thing that sets us free. The world tells us that freedom means doing whatever we want, whenever we want, without rules, without structure, without limits. But what if that is not freedom at all? What if true liberty comes not from chaos, but from order, not from indulgence, but from discipline? What if the doorway to real power, real peace, and real freedom is through the structure we often try to avoid? Today, I will show you the paradox that structure unlocks liberty, and why discipline, far from being a prison, is the master key that opens the gates to everything you truly desire. Think about your life right now. How many times have you said, "I just want to be free"? Free from stress, free from financial struggles, free from the weight of responsibilities, free to live life on your own terms. And yet, for so many, freedom feels further away than ever. You wake up tired, go through the motions of your day, and fall asleep knowing that tomorrow will probably look the same as today. Instead of being the master of your life, you feel like a servant to your habits, your impulses, and your circumstances. This is the silent tragedy of modern living. People cry for freedom, yet they unknowingly enslave themselves to comfort, distraction, and procrastination. Here's the problem. Most of us confuse freedom with escape. We think freedom means avoiding discipline, avoiding rules, avoiding the hard path. We think if we remove all structure, we will finally breathe. But what happens when there are no boundaries? Life becomes a storm with no direction. Without discipline, you become chained to the very things you thought would make you free. Comfort becomes your cage, laziness becomes your jailer, and distractions, social media, television, unhealthy habits, become the bars of a prison that you built with your own hands. You are free to scroll endlessly, free to eat whatever you want, free to waste time. But are you really free, or are you trapped by your own lack of discipline? Imagine a river with no banks. Without structure, the water spills everywhere, creating chaos, destroying everything in its path. But when the river has boundaries, it flows with strength and direction, carving valleys, turning turbines, giving life wherever it goes. Discipline is those riverbanks. It does not kill freedom. It channels it. It gives your energy purpose. It allows you to direct your life instead of drifting aimlessly. The paradox is this: when you give yourself structure, you gain liberty. When you restrict yourself from distractions, you gain time. When you impose discipline on your body, you gain health. When you set rules for your mind, you gain peace. And when you command your actions, you gain power. Look at the great warriors of history, the masters of art, the builders of empires, the creators of movements. None of them lived without discipline. They were not enslaved by it. They were liberated through it. The samurai, for example, lived under a strict code. Their lives were built on discipline, rising early, training endlessly, following rituals that would seem harsh to the modern mind. But because of that discipline, they carried themselves with unmatched freedom in battle and in life. They could walk calmly into chaos because they had already mastered themselves. The musician who practices scales for hours may seem confined, but in truth, that discipline gives them the freedom to play any melody, to improvise, to create beauty without limits. The athlete who trains day after day may seem restricted, but that very structure gives them the freedom to dominate the field when it matters. The paradox repeats itself everywhere. Structure unlocks liberty. Before we continue, if these words are helping you, take just a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That small action may seem simple, but it helps this message reach thousands of others who need it just like you. I'm truly grateful for your support. Thank you. Now, let's move forward. The reason most people never experience this freedom is because discipline is uncomfortable at first. It feels like a cage when you start, waking up early when you want to sleep in, saying no to junk food when your cravings scream at you, studying, working, practicing, while others are relaxing and laughing. At first, it feels like sacrifice, but what you must understand is that discipline is only sacrifice in the short term. In the long term, it is salvation. The discomfort of discipline is temporary. The regret of freedom without discipline lasts forever. You can pay the price now through discipline, or pay it later through regret. Either way, there is a cost. Which one do you choose? Most people never ask that question. They think freedom is free. But freedom is not free. It must be purchased with discipline. If you want financial freedom, you must be disciplined with money. If you want physical freedom, you must be disciplined with your health. If you want emotional freedom, you must be disciplined with your mind. If you want time freedom, you must be disciplined with how you spend your hours. Every kind of freedom has a price tag, and the currency is discipline. Now, let's imagine for a moment what your life could look like if you embrace this truth. Imagine waking up early, not because you have to, but because you want to. Imagine starting your day with clarity, with direction, with energy. Imagine building habits so strong that success becomes automatic, and discipline no longer feels like a struggle, but like your natural state. Imagine no longer being a slave to impulses, addictions, or distractions, but being in full control of your time, your health, your mind, and your destiny. That is not a fantasy. It is available to you the moment you choose structure over chaos. The solution is simple, but it is not easy. Create discipline in your life before life disciplines you. Start with small steps. Build structure around the things that matter. Train your body. Train your mind. Command your actions, even when you don't feel like it. Each time you act with discipline, you strengthen the chains of freedom. You build a foundation that cannot be shaken. Over time, what once felt like sacrifice becomes second nature, and what once felt like restriction becomes your greatest liberation. Feeling stuck, distracted, burnt out, it's time to break free. My book, The Art of Being Unstoppable, is your blueprint to sharpen your mind, master your emotions, and take back control of your life. Inside, you'll discover powerful tools to build focus, flow, resilience, and unshakable purpose, so you can rise above the chaos and step into your highest potential. Don't just survive, dominate. Become who you were meant to be. The link is in the description if you're ready to begin. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom. It is its greatest ally. Without discipline, freedom is an illusion, a shadow that disappears the moment you try to grasp it. With discipline, freedom becomes real, solid, unshakable. Discipline gives you the freedom to choose your destiny instead of being controlled by your impulses. Discipline gives you the freedom to live without regret because you know you gave your best. Discipline gives you the freedom to face life with courage because you know you are prepared. So the next time your mind resists discipline, remember this. The discomfort you feel today is the door to the freedom you crave tomorrow. The structure you impose on yourself is not a prison, but a path. And the paradox that so few understand is this. The chains of discipline are the wings of freedom. Your life is waiting for you to choose. Will you continue chasing the illusion of freedom without discipline, living in cycles of distraction, regret, and limitation? Or will you embrace the paradox, embrace the structure, and discover the kind of freedom that cannot be taken away? The decision is yours, But if you choose discipline, you will one day look back and realize that what you thought was sacrifice was actually the key that unlocked everything you ever wanted. Because in the end, discipline does not take away your freedom. Discipline creates it. If you made it all the way here, drop a mind emoji in the comments. I want to see how many of you finish what you start, because that alone sets you apart. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and keep growing day by day. Remember, together we are truly unstoppable.